Right then, so we'll take a look at this now. The left-hand one, again, we can see as your before. For me, a little bit on that sort of hunch side, hands very close into the legs there, quite hunched, rounded back. As we said, that's something that we can work on, obviously, through time, just by trying to do that sort of exercise up against the wall, just standing taller and straighter. Do that a couple of times. And that's everyone. In fact, the only ones I did it a couple of times last week with a guy, or two guys. One was a policeman, nailed it. One was a military guy, nailed it. Because they're always used to standing kind of yes sir, three bags full. So most people, and this is across the spectrum, sort of mid-20s up to your age, okay? People sort of either sat at desks, sat in a car, rounded back. You look at their posture, they just generally look a bit hunched.
We were abroad a few weeks ago, and we were walking, and I said to her, am I stooping? And she said, yeah, you've gone in the last half hour.
Yeah. Well, that's sometimes fatigue and tiredness. You start drooping down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A pint then, wasn't it?
Of course. But
the thing is, it's serious, isn't it?
No, yeah, exactly. And I think that's what I say from a golfing perspective, obviously it's important, but just from a health perspective, if your back is bending and bending and bending, it's not going to be working as well for you, and it's going to be more susceptible to causing problem there in terms of your back. So that was your posture before. So the little sequence we're going to go through now, we're always going to start off with the club down next to the golf ball. So we do that here now, we put the club in there, and just get your left hand on the club first correctly, okay? So left hand in position, okay? We've got those checkpoints where we can see the sort of knuckles here of your left hand. The pad here of this left hand here now, we say is sitting on top of the grip, okay? We shouldn't be able to see this top part of the grip because your hand has gone too far round this way, yeah? If I hold it here correctly, you see, this part of my thumb and pad of my left finger is supporting the club. And what that will do, it's a more neutral position, but not necessarily a comfortable position, yeah? When you're making these changes, they're not going to feel comfortable because they're different, yeah? But it's actually where your natural left arm hangs from, okay? So in the past, when your golf ball would curve this way to the right, what you would then do is pick the golf club up, as we say, quite steep, and then you can see sort of you're throwing your arms. The club now, as we can see, just coming in the golf ball. See the shaft here now, kind of what we call outside the golf ball. Yeah. That's you just trying to chop it somewhere left and just thinking, well, this golf club's going to be an open-faced hit, so I need to start the ball somewhere left and hope then it's going to go over here and curve back the target. And if you get enough golf balls, you'll figure out how much left you have to swing it. Problem is, you're creating a wrong to fix another wrong. And two wrongs can make a right, but by the nature of that, two wrongs making a right aren't going to be consistent, yeah? No. And then if we're not warmed up and we're a bit and mentally we start going down because of what happens, we're now going to be on the back foot from basically the start of the round. So going through that sequence, getting that posture better, you can see getting your space. Now, that to me is a much better setup, yeah? Granted, there's going to be a little bit of curve in the back. That's not going to suddenly become Justin Rose, Adam Scott, Rory McIlroy in a week. But if we can get in a position where our arms are hanging down, our chin, basically, I mean, for me there now, everything now looks more in line here from sort of your nose, your chest down, sort of through your body here, whereas before you were sort of tucked underneath and you were creating that curve. God. And I think until you sort of see yourself, it's actually quite, you think, surprised. I'm like, oh, is that really me kind of thing? And everyone has that same kind of reaction. So you're in good company, okay? Now, from there, with the left hand being better, you make the normal backswing, you go, length of backswing. That's not too short, to be fair. You're getting that club, your hands are getting above your shoulders. So we're getting a nice long backswing there. As I said, because you're used to the golf ball having a left to right curve, you're still going to swing it to swing the golf club to the left. Not as much in this case. No. I mean, the club shaft you can see now is more sort of just on the golf ball, I would say, just inside it, compared to that 7-iron there. It's a much improved position, okay? And therefore, when the ball then started, it started left and just kept going left, yeah? Now, follow-through wise, there's not much of a follow-through. That, I think, is going to come more and more once we sort of rotate back. And I think you get the confidence. One of the sort of things you said at the start of the session was, why is your backswing shorter? Fear, anxiety, worry about what's going to happen, yeah? So if we can get your body in a better position, I think you'll feel more mobile with the movement. You'll be able to move more and not fear mishitting it or slicing it or topping it or whatever it may be. In time, that body will be able to move a little bit more. So, as I said, the symptom or the shorter swing was a symptom caused by the hunch in the posture, the squatting in the knees, the left hand grip position, the both hand grip pressure, and probably still a little bit of the old keep the head down mentality. It's never going to disappear like that, even though you've been told not to do that. golfers for years and years and years get told, keep your head down, and that's still kind of ingrained for a long time, okay? As I said, we need to be more focused on where the ball needs to go as opposed to worrying about this golf ball, yeah? If the idea of, say, keep your head down, keep your eye on the golf ball was true, blind golfers couldn't play golf, and they're pretty good.
I know.
So we don't need to sort of stare at the ball and keep focused on that. That club's working about 80 mile an hour to some people, even faster. You're not going to see the club hit the ball. It's too fast, yeah? You've got to get in the positions that enable that club to come back to the ball. So if we see people sort of staring at the ball, you get fixated on the ground, you're not going to move. The abilities now to rotate, we've already got a slightly rounded back. We're hunching it more at setup. We're tensing the grip. Our left hand's incorrect. We're heads down. Those 5 factors there. Well, exactly, yeah, apart from that, perfect, yeah. But those 5 factors, if they contribute 5%, nothing 5%, is it? That's 25% now you've lost a range of motion. Well, if our range of motion is a little bit shorter, which it kind of will be as we get older, suddenly now you're losing a load of range of motion. So you're losing yardage. Then, of course, how do you try and get the yardage back? Oh, hit it a bit harder and give it a whack, yeah?
Well, this is it, isn't it?
And then you lose rhythm and time.
Thing,
well, yeah, exactly. And people just try the best they can to do something, yeah. So going through that sequence again, just to run through it quickly, always start with the feet together and just sort of building in. This is the first part of the setup, the club. That's the second part of the setup. The third part with the back. And once you've got that, that's the order. So you're going to go, zoom, zoom, yeah, up and down the club shaft, back down to your feet. Okay, so we go through this again. Club, grip, get your posture, set your feet. Looks great to me. And then from that position, that is where all your concentration is going in. Then just hit the golf ball. There are some swing things you might look at maybe another time, but at the moment now we need to get this dialed in. And again, use mirrors, use reflections, use people to watch and say, how's a posture? Take a photograph, take a video, whatever it may be. Check it out and have a look, yeah? You've got an image of those two there. If we sort of just take a still of those two, then when I send the video through, you can see a very different golfer, can't you, yeah? One's able to move, one isn't able to move. Now, just because this golfer can move, doesn't mean he will, yeah? That's where practice will come in over time. All right? Good stuff, very good.